The interim Yunus administration has upped the ante against former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina as they look to tarnish her legacy and keep their, what quite frankly is an illegal hold on the country. Bangladesh's central bank has released a fresh series of currency notes that no longer have the picture of Sheikh Mujibur Rehman, who is Sheikh Hasina's father and considered to be the founding president of Bangladesh. The old currency notes had the image of Mujibur Rehman, but those now have been replaced with notes featuring historical places, temples, pictures that depict the cultural heritage of Bangladesh. Now remember, it's pertinent to know that the first president's pictures have been featuring on the banknotes for decades in Bangladesh, and this is the first time that such an action has been taken in years. This also comes a day after Bangladesh's International Crimes Tribunal, or the ICT, formally indicted Sheikh Hasina on charges of crimes against humanity. These charges stem from the crackdown on the protest in July and August back in 2024 that resulted in several deaths. Prosecutors alleged that Sheikh Hasina orchestrated a systematic attack to suppress the uprising, utilizing law enforcement and armed party members to quell dissent. Now, the charges against Sheikh Hasina, remember, come less than a year after she was ousted in a highly questionable political transition that many believe was engineered from outside. Let me go back to my colleague Rishabh on this. Rishabh, one step at a time, the Yunus administration is trying to erase the legacy that Mujibur Rehman as well as his daughter Sheikh Hasina have left in Bangladesh. What more do you have? Today, of course, the central bank is distributing and is releasing the currency notes, the new ones that do not have the picture of the founding father of Bangladesh.
Well, sure, this is not the first time that the Yunus government, the Yunus interim government, is trying to wipe out the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rehman. Sheikh Mujibur Rehman happens to be the founding father of Bangladesh. The Awami League that, Sheikh Mujibur Rehman established, fought for the independence of Bangladesh from Pakistan in 1970 and 71. After that, Sheikh Mujibur Rehman took over as the president of Bangladesh. Since then, his pictures have been, his images have been on various banknotes. Even after he was assassinated and there was a government which was hostile toward Sheikh Mujibur Rehman, his legacy was never touched. His residence in Dhan Mandi, or for that matter, the banknotes, or for that matter, even the declaration of independence, which now is being contested by this interim government, was never touched upon. Since August, we have seen systematic, process by the interim government and its advisors, quote unquote, to wipe out the legacy of Sheikh Mujibur Rehman. First, they went with the change in history books. Second, they worked on how it wasn't Sheikh Mujibur Rehman, but Major General Zia Rahman who actually, read the independence declaration. Then, came in removal of a lot of statues, posters, names of Sheikh Mujibur Rehman in various parts of Bangladesh. Now, then in March this year, the news came in that the Central Bank of Bangladesh is planning to change the currency notes. We broke that news back then as well, that how Sheikh Mujibur Rehman's picture is being removed. Back then, Central Bank did not comment on it, but now, 1st of June, they started, putting forward the new currency notes. Sheikh Mujib's photographs are missing, and what we are given to understand that, pictures of various historical sites, including temples and Buddhist fire temples, are also there. Now, the point is that yes, the interim government is trying to wipe out Sheikh Mujibur Rehman's legacy, but also have alarmed the Islamist supporters of interim government, and hence there are protests for having temples on the currency note as well. So definitely, while Yunus is trying to wipe out the erstwhile leaders of Bangladesh's legacy in Bangladesh, he has not been able to establish himself as well as the leader. There have been constant friction between his government and the Bangladeshi army, as well as there is friction within his interim government as well over when the elections would be called.
Absolutely, Rishabh. And this entire currency note revamp, it comes at a time when Mohammad Yunus is also going to be holding a second all-party meeting today in Bangladesh. It comes amid allegations by several security experts and geopolitical analysts who say that it wasn't Sheikh Hasina, but outside influence that had led to this entire uprising, the so-called student-led uprising that happened in Bangladesh, which eventually led to the downfall of the Sheikh Hasina regime after decades, and she was forced out of her own country. But as we speak, Rishabh, these visuals, of course, come at a very concerning time. There are calls for elections in Bangladesh. Yunus has been saying that there will be elections. There is still no conclusion to that. And amid all of this, you've also got, videos of top Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist claiming that he was also part of this regime change in Bangladesh. So you've got a Yunus who's talking and giving credit to the Democrats, when he gave that credit to Bill Clinton last time around, saying he was responsible for the change, so-called change that came into Bangladesh. Now you've got an LET terrorist claiming in Pakistan that LET was also involved in it. So a number of external influences also in terms of how we're seeing this entire legacy change and legacy removal from Bangladesh.
Well, Shreya, if we talk about this whole, June, July, August unfoldings in Dhaka and whole of Bangladesh, we have spoken to a number of experts, experts who are even part of the advisory council of Muhammad Yunus. Many suggest that there were multiple layers to it. On the top of it, we saw the, student and student activists coming out on street against Sheikh Hasina. That was an initial, discontent within the student community, and they wanted to put forward their content. Institutions like ISI, institutions like Lashkar or others did tap on it, and the second layer below the student activist was the Pakistan High Commission in Dhaka, along with ISI and Pakistani Army and quasi forces of Pakistan, which include likes of Lashkar-e-Taiba as well. They mobilized this whole discontent among student community against Sheikh Hasina further. Then there was CIA and deep state coming in from Western world who gave money for it. This is what the experts suggest, that there were multi-level setup to oust Sheikh Hasina from Bangladesh, and that all culminated into what we saw August 5th, when Sheikh Hasina had to leave Bangladesh and take refuge here in New Delhi. Since then, she has been in the national capital. Apart from that, we have seen that how Yunus was welcomed in United States when he went there in the month of September for the UNGA summit. That picture of Joe Biden and Yunus is everywhere on internet. Everyone has seen it. Apart from that, the way things have unfolded since then very categorically showcases that Yunus doesn't enjoy that much of power or command on the administration of Bangladesh. Absolutely. And there are multiple
players. Of course, have to wait and watch what really happens in Bangladesh, considering that Yunus is facing a lot of friction also within the Bangladeshi army. Interesting day to have these currency notes come out, because today is the day when Bangladesh will be getting its new budget. Its new budget is going to be announced in the afternoon today. So we'll have to wait and watch. It's going to be interesting how that really comes out. But thanks very much.